All right, guys, here's the Bulgarian split squat. I'm going with a back rack. You can also go with a front rack. You can put dumbbells by your side, dumbbells on your shoulder, whatever. But notice that knee isn't actually going past my toe. It's just tracking the toes. I'm getting full range of motion. I like to put my toe like not in a point on the bench. You can use a box or whatever is comfortable. But I like to keep my whole foot nice and flat for balance. Okay, it's super important that you're able to create balance. This does not have to be a heavy strengthening exercise, or it can be if you have great balance. All right, so Bulgarian split squat. I have been doing these for a little while, off and on. It's something I throw in, especially when I have a flare up going on with my hip. I tore my hamstring in 2012, and I have a lot of injury still, like issues with that going on, mainly because of scar tissue, and I still have a huge divot kind of in that hamstring. I tore my bicep femoris. It's the bigger one, that little that chunkier piece of meat and backside of your leg. So a lot of times, like from the games, I said, I don't squat very heavy often, and I still was able to front squat 490 pounds. And that was me being truthful. I'll do a lot of accessory work like this in order to stay strong for my legs and to rehab that muscle, along with my glute medius, which is the side of your glute, right? They're both important in squatting. So unfortunately, like I can't, because I have a lot of pain. And if I don't strengthen that and work through something that's going to get me there, such as this exercise, along with a few other ones, I won't be able to squat. Like I just can't. So it's one of those movements that can fix a lot of those issues if you do it correctly. So if you notice, like my hips were square, right? I had good balance, and I loaded the weight to where I could control down and come up fast. If you can't do that, don't use a lot of weight, right? Put dumbbells in your hands, or use no weight, right? You don't have to use any weight. It's good for rehab as well, for even for your knee, like learning to control and contract correctly up and down. But this, like, it's such a good movement for all these things. So if you like want to take off on your CNS, you've been lifting heavy, back squats, front squats, all that good stuff, and you need to lower that weight and let your CNS recover, do so. Do Bulgarian split squats. You're not going to use as much weight. You're not going to be putting on 500 pounds doing that. You're just not going to. It's one-legged squat, right? Now you can also change like where your foot placement is. I put mine a little bit, I wouldn't say, it's a pretty standard stance. I wouldn't get too close or too far away. If you get, the further away you get, it's going to be able to put a little bit more pressure on your back if you have the bar on your back, but you'll get a little higher up in your hamstring if you're trying to train that, which is actually something where mainly I have a big tear. But you want to find a place where that knee tracks that toe directly up and down. It's not going forward past your toe and you come down, and you're not like having to like shoot your hips back to come up, right? It needs to be nice and controlled, and you can work your way up from there with the weight. But I would encourage anybody that has issues with balance, or a knee issue, or a quad issue, an imbalance between like which side is stronger or whatever, or your glute hurts because you load too much weight and it compresses your spine, and you can't, there's a lot of different reasons to add this in, but I would start out light, work your way up, and then see your way from there. But like I said, you could go front rack bar, you can go with a back rack bar, you can go with dumbbells, you can hold one dumbbell, you can put them by your side, whatever. I mean, even if you need to like start with putting out a PVC pipe and no weight and work on the balance of that, it would be very beneficial. But I hope this helps, guys. It's a good movement for me, and it'd be a great movement to add into your repertoire.